Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mentorship Masters. And I call this the six-figure success story. And today we've got Tony Pippenger, and Tony is absolutely a success story. You're going to love Tony. Tony is our very first icon agent at Mentorship Masters. We'll explain what that means here in a little bit. But how we doing, Tony? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, Knolly. Doing great. You?
I'm doing well, man. Hey, you're a celebrity here, man.
I don't know about all that.
You are definitely a celebrity because you actually, the very first, you've been with us, it's going on your second year here at Mentorship Masters. The first year you hit icon, and you did it very quickly, and you capped real quick too.
Yes, sir.
You hit your cap real quick. So tell me what it was, what has it been like transitioning from an independent brokerage? You were having a great time at an independent brokerage, and here comes this new platform. It's like, wait, what is this? New technology and all this stuff. How has the transition been for you?
It's actually been great, but now that with the transit, when we went from being Lake Life to Lake Life team brokered by XP, at that same time I had brought my daughter in as to assist me, and she just had graduated from A&M and had started her first job and been there about 6 months, and saw that real estate seemed exciting because I was coming home obviously full of piss and vinegar, as you might say. And she thought, I want to do this. I said, well, if you do, I could use your help. And it wasn't a few weeks later, she said, okay, I'm taking my test. I've done all my classes to get, I said, man, she's serious. So anyway, she came on board and got her license, and while she was doing that, so she come in and started handling a lot of my back end things. So the transition was easy for me from one to the other when going into EXP. I was just looking at all the benefits EXP had to offer and could accelerate on those, and she kept up with the speed and the change. So I'm not a real good one to talk to on the change because she knocked it out of the park.
It was seamless. For you, it was like nothing changed.
Hey, bring it on. Yeah.
Well, this is interesting because, Will Gilliam was talking about your stock portfolio here at EXP. You're doing the same things you did before, but you're making more. So let's just talk about your past. So how did you? Because when I look at the board, I can see Tony closed another one. He closed another one. He closed another one. He closed a $1 million one. He closed another $1 million one. So you're very, very successful. How'd you get started in this business?
Actually, I was in the auto industry for 25 years, I guess, and enjoyed it. Just enjoyed it immensely. But and I raised 4 kids, and it was very demanding. And you could only earn 2 weeks vacation. I don't care how long you were there. Anyway, so I've been doing that for that long, and I had my last child in college, and I dabbled in real estate. I guess the whole time I was in the auto industry, I bought small ranches and I had commercial buildings, and I kind of kept my eye, on real estate and made good money with it. And so when it got time I sold a piece of property, and I just told my daughter, I said, I'm going to take a year off. And you're going to do what? I said, I'm in a position I can do this. I'm just going to go to the dealership, say I'm taking a year off to recharge my battery. And my goal was really to go out there and find out what else is out there, because when you're in the auto industry, your head's down, you're focused, you're doing it, you don't really see a lot. So I just took a year, and I went to Florida for 3 months. I rented my house out. I live on the lake, so I rented my house out on a nightly rental, which was a blessing because it basically covered my year's expenses. I wasn't going to be there anyway. And I went to Florida for 3 months and stayed with my parents. And then I went from there, because they winter down there. They live in Indiana, and then I got 3 older brothers that live in Indiana. So I went up there and I spent every vacation that all my brothers took with their families, and I just caught up on a lot of stuff. And I just kept my ear open the whole time, trying to think, I'll find something else that I want to do. And I had a real good friend of mine, Rodney Topper, who was in real estate. He was my used car manager for 12 years, got out of and transitioned into real estate, and he was doing it exceptionally well. And he said, Tony, this is a no-brainer for you. You've got contacts, you've lived in the area, just and you build a name for yourself. He said, you ought to really look at it. So I came back in January and went back to school, frightened to death because I had to go get my real estate license. I hadn't been in school in forever, and got my license and just it just took off. I used my phone as my Rolodex, is what Will says, and I'd start in the A's, and I would just building up my database in Wise Agent at the time. Because we worked with a CRM at the dealership that was spot on, and I saw the advantages of that. And when I got into real estate, I noticed nobody does that. And I'm like, how can you're building a book of business. How can you not build your book of business, and not be chasing leads? So I just started on the A's, and I started putting them in, and I started talking to each one of them, telling them the move I made. And time I got into the C's, I was already had 4 or 5 listings. I sold a couple, and I just worked my way, and it just took off. I don't know how else to say it.
So this is quite interesting because, as you said, many real estate agents, they're not professional. I don't know any other way to say it.
Yes.
When you come from the car industry, the auto industry, you had a professional system to stay in touch with your past clients. It's called a CRM, a contact management system, or a contact relationship manager. And you used it and it worked. Right. And when you got into this business, I hear you didn't do anything different. You just picked up the phone and just went through your names. And by the time you got to the C's, you had 6 listings.
Yes.
6 listings. And were those like a couple $100,000 deals, or what are we talking about?
Knolly, everybody hated me, but my second sale was $1 million lake house. And it was because I called my accountant, whose name is Mike Center, in the C's, and he said, hey, I got a guy that's looking. And so my accountant referred me, one of my best clients now. We've sold 4 or 5 properties together and one in the lake house. So yeah, popped out of there with a big one right out of the gate.
So your second deal was over $1 million.
Over $1 million. Yeah. I thought, hey, now that's where it's at. Yeah.
It's quite interesting, Tony, because you hit icon. You capped the first time you were here. You capped in a week. You capped, I think, in a week or couple weeks, and then you just capped. I think this time it took you maybe 30 days to cap, 2 or 3 deals.
I think it took me the first, we came in September. I think I capped by the end of the year. So it took me about 3 months the first year.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the next year, my first transaction capped me. I had a ranch close that was a large one. So I capped in my first transaction.
In one deal, you capped in one deal. Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna make Icon a little easier this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for those of you guys listening, when Tony hit Icon, and what that means is that here at EXP, it's an 80-20 split. You cap at 16,000. Okay, so you pay 16,000 in, but when you Icon, you get a chance to get that full 16,000 back in the form of stock. So you got you hit Icon, Tony. How's your stock looking? Oh,
my stock's looking great. And I didn't start until January to start putting in the 5% at the, buying at a 10% discount, because obviously that's a 10% return on my money the day I buy. That's a no-brainer. Yep. So I started doing that in January. And at the end of the year, I'm well over 6 figures, and I haven't put in 25,000. I don't even know what I put into it, but it's already a game changer just on that end of it. Obviously, the stock, we can't expect the stock to do what it's done this year, but who knows? We could be the next Amazon. You don't know.
A lot of people don't realize this, Tony, but EXP is actually a technology company now. We own Verbella, the technology company, and now with people doing mostly distance, working from home and so on. And that's supposed to be the new normal. Even after things get back to whatever the new normal is, right. People like working from home. I mean, I just got to say it. I mean, there's many companies come out and say, this is it. We're gonna go with this model from now on and allow our employees to work from home. And the majority of companies are doing that. So we own Verbella, which is a company that makes it easy for people to be able to do that. And so in the fact that we're a technology, we're not just a real estate company that's doing great, but the reason why companies like Tesla, the stock just went crazy, is because Tesla's a technology company, and so are we. So that stock should still, I mean, who knows what stock's going to do. But here's the thing, Tony, you and I didn't join this for the stock, did we?
No, it's just a piece of it.
It's just a piece of it. And then you've got the revenue share, your group is growing. Yes. You're doing the same things that you did before.
Yes.
Yet you're seeing bigger results.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to this a minute, because Tony, as you said, you might have some haters out there, and I have them too, because I try to tell people how easy this business is. I was in the music business before I got into real estate, and I got to tell you, people say real estate is cutthroat and dog eat dog. I'm like, I don't see it yet. I was in the music business.
Right.
That, when we put somebody in the studio, it took 9 months before we got paid on that deal, on that rec, that thing. So in this business, it just comes across to me like it's not that difficult. But I come from a professional industry, and so do you. So what do you say to those that are like, this is a very tough business. I don't know how to make it, because truthfully, 87% of agents don't make it. And yet you seem to make it look like you're not doing any, like it's just easy. It's a walk in the park.
Right. Well, I just treat it as a job, and I manage my time. I will start the morning at something. I say 8 o'clock, but this morning I was 5:30 sending out emails. You wake up, your mind gets going, you're not going back to sleep, so you might as well work. And I just work Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and other weekends I work a lot with getting listings. I'm not a big buyer's agent because I want to be able to control my life. So I kind of went that direction. That was the reason I want to have the flexibility. Will I work with a buyer? Absolutely. I'll take a Sunday. I can record a football game as good as anybody else, and get out there if I've got a buyer that needs some help. But I treat it like a job. Like you say, it's just because that's where I came from. And the people that don't make it, they don't even have a marketing plan put together, or they don't work 40 hours a week. I don't know how you could fail at this unless you just didn't really try real hard.
Yeah, that's what we try to say. And our heart does go out to those of you that aren't doing so well. Those of you that are doing great, high five to you. You're following the plan, following the system. But like Tony said, he started, and you'll be surprised, Tony, how many agents I talk to, and I say, go to your contacts, and how many times have you actually gone through and started calling? And they're like, well, I haven't thought of that yet. That's like 101, right, Tony?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So Tony, so now that you've been successful, how long have you been in the business?
Just a little over 4 years.
A little over 4 years. So your first year, did you do okay your first year? How well did you do your first year?
Yeah, I think I did 25 or 28 transactions my first year.
Okay.
And then in the 30s, and then I'm into the 40s. But my average per transaction is really moving up because I'm focused on finding out it's just as much work, if not less. And then I market to. I live on the lake. I took advantage of that. I've lived here for 20 some years, and I live on the water, so nobody knows this lake better than I do, And I have to go back to one thing that really helped me out a lot. There was a little marketing thing I did through send out cards, which I'm sure you probably are familiar with. Will had showed me a marketing plan with send out cards, and I kind of put that together. And the lake that we live on, it's called Lake LBJ. It's a pretty consistent level lake, but every 7 years I'll lower the lake 4 feet for people to do bulkhead and work on things. So I hired a photographer when they did that, and I went down to Colorado and I went down and shot 600 homes. Every home, I had 2 photographers, one taking each side of the lake, and with the lake down. And then when they filled the lake up, I had them come back out and we went and did it again. So now I had pictures of what their house looked like from the water with the lake down, and then what it looked like with it up. But I got so busy, I'd spent $2,000-$3,000 on that photography work, and I had all that, but I didn't have time to do anything with it. I ordered these big maps, and I was going to market it, and that's when my daughter came on. Her first 3 months was riding a Sea-Doo down the lake, video, and then coming back and matching those homes to the CAD. And then we sent out a postcard from send out cards it said, I know this lake up. There was a picture of their house, and you open it up, and down, it was a picture of their house with the lake down. And then it had some lake facts on it. And then on the back was my information. And I lived here for 20 some years if you need help. So yeah, everybody got a picture of their house with the lake up and down. And I got multiple $1 million listings off of that. And then now I got a database set up of all those 800 homes or 600 homes. So we keep up with that, and we do mail outs every quarter, and we target our marketing. We just, like I would say, you got to have a marketing plan, and that's worked really well for us. And then from there, it's just escalated into just being on the lake.
I love it. I love it. So that really is a very unique marketing plan. And it sounds like now that you have someone to help you, you've got your daughter in the business to help you, you're really able to take care of special projects like, I mean, that's an incredible project. It's a great idea, by the way.
Yes.
And so your farm is $600 to $800 million plus homes. That's your farm.
Yeah. Everybody wants to get into selling ranches. They want the big ranches, which, is great. But I looked at it, I got a ranch every 80 feet. Okay, I mean seriously, I got a ranch every 80 feet, so I just, and it just shows. Sometimes I'll just take the boat, and I can, I got a boat that I take and show people what the lots, when they're looking for land. It's a great way of doing it. And also get them out on the water and show them what the houses look like from the water. Let me
ask you this, Tony, because you came from a sales background.
Yes.
You were in the auto industry. I've met you several times. We've sat down with you a few times at different events, and you don't come across to me as very salesy. How is that? Like you don't seem to me like the typical what we would consider to be a car salesman.
It's I preach it all the time. Is God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, use them accordingly. And I do a lot of listening. And when I talk, it's usually got some meat with it. I just don't, stuff sells. People, there's so much information on the internet. People will sell themselves. They're just looking for somebody they can trust and somebody with some knowledge, and tell them something that they don't really know the answer to it. So I train a lot of salespeople, and the ones that talk all the time, when somebody says, okay, I'll take it, well then hush up. Just start doing the paperwork. Press hard, there's 3 copies, is how we used to say it in the auto industry. So
I remember those.
That's probably a lot of it. I listen a lot more than I talk.
Yeah, and that's a great skill. I think that many of us in this industry haven't captured. And you're listening for what is it that they want, and how can I help them get it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I love it. And you come across as very genuine. As well, and very trustworthy. I think that's a real big thing that's missed, is that you project trust. So when I see Tony, there's number one, I see confidence, not cockiness, but confidence. There's a lovingness there, a playfulness, and also I see a person that I can trust this guy, and that's what people are looking for.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Plus, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that helped. I did when I got into it. I come out of the auto industry as a graduated college student, and I was in 2nd grade when I hit real estate. I did not like that. I liked being able to I could do car sales or appraise a used car. I would, just waking up in the morning, I just knew where to go to get my information. In real estate, I felt like a fish out of water for a while, and I didn't like that feeling. So I worked hard to try to get that corrected.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you understand where you're weak. Like even at the beginning, you said, look, I don't know about the transition. I don't know anything about that. I'm just doing what I do. And this is what I preach to our group, is you have to understand where you're weak and partner with others who are strong in those areas. So if you don't, the back end, the systems, the paperwork, the logging in and all that stuff, that's not where the money is, and that's not where the people are. That's not where the relationships are. Yeah. So you focus on what really matters. And I like that about you, Tony.
Yeah, I shake hands and kiss babies.
Shake hands and kiss babies. I love it. Well, I want to say too, Tony, if any of you guys are listening and you're looking for a great mentor, a great coach, a great sponsor here at EXP, Tony's building his team. He is what we call an OG. He understands the sales game. He knows marketing. He knows sales, and he knows how to do luxury properties. So if you're looking for a great mentor and a great coach and a great sponsor, look no further than Tony Pippenger. We've got his contact information right here below. You can reach out to him, join EXP with Tony as your sponsor. Any parting words that you want to share, Tony, to those listening?
No, obviously you got to do something you have a passion for, and that will show through your work skills. Just don't let yourself get exhausted. Don't be afraid to hire help or bring in an assistant. I can't tell you how much that benefits your business out there, just so you can still market yourself, because you can only do so much as a one person. So just be aware that when you think, man, I don't know if I can afford that. Yeah, you can, because your business will grow that much from it.
Tony, let me just ask you this. So your first year, what would you say your commission earnings roughly was the first year?
Commission earning probably 180.
180. And then this year, what would you say it might be?
Oh shoot, it's probably I did close to 38 million in sales.
So it could be $1 million.
Yeah, just shy of that.
Maybe 900,000. We'll settle for 900.
Yeah. Give me a goal for next year. Or
So
for this.
your fourth year in the business, and you're looking at $900,000 in commission.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
hearing that right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Tony, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for helping us see the fun side of real estate, because this really is a fun business when you work it the right way.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Don't kill yourself. Just be smart. That's right.
All right, Tony. Hey, you're a living legend, brother. Appreciate you.